Hey everybody, this is Mylixia, and today I want to talk about EverQuest. EverQuest 1 is one of my favorite old school games, and I wanted to definitely cover the Ragefire Progression Server, just explain a little bit about what it is and why it is exciting and what some of the issues are with it and some of the things you may be wondering about. So let's get into it. I've tossed together a little bit of footage that I've been playing with both my shaman and my necro, so you can see me running around. So the first thing is, what is this? Well, EverQuest has been out for 15 years, maybe more, and the Daybreak Games, which just recently split off from Sony, has announced the Ragefire Progression Server, saying that it's going to be gaming like it's 1999 is their slogan, and about 4,000 or 5,000 people have actually signed up for the server, and it had a queue for the longest time. There was a lot of people that were coming in to play, and that was great. It's really awesome to see the interest in this game pick up. And I think the number one issue that everyone's going to be concerned about in this video is the game similar to Classic? Is the game similar to how it was in 1999? Are you really gaming like it's 1999? And depending on how much of a stickler you are about the issue, the answer is probably not, but maybe. You'll still have some fun. So a couple of things that are pretty different about Ragefire as a server from 1999 when the game came out. The classes are very different. They've done a lot of updates. So take something like mages, for example, which are kind of the classic thing to complain about on this server. They're really, really powerful. Their pets got a bunch of damaged buffs, and their monks also, I think, have a lot of damage. And so just in general, some classes are pretty unbalanced, and you'll see that some of the zones have been updated. You won't kind of get that same graphical feel from the 1999 version, but you'll get pretty close. You'll get close enough to definitely get immersed. And then there's a couple other things. The game was a little bit more difficult when it came out. Corpse recovery and experience were things you had to deal with. EXP loss is still in the game, but corpse recovery is something you don't have to do. All your items return to you. Also, experience on this server is doubled, and I think at least doubled, and there's no hell levels either. Hell levels were these levels where you, like if you got to like level 30, you'd have to spend an extra amount of time and a lot of experience getting to the next level. So it's much easier to get to 50, and that means that you can probably play a lot of classes before you're going to get to the 6-month timeline, because on Ragefire, the progression server, it'll be 6 months until the next expansion for Everquest 1, Kunark, is released, and then 6 months after that for Velious, which is the next expansion, then 3 months after that for every other expansion. So it'll actually be a full year before Ragefire is on Velious. So you'll have a lot of time to level if you want to. I'm definitely going to have a shaman and a necro by the time that server, by the time that the expansion unlocks. Just playing casually, I'm pretty confident I can do that. And that said, there's definitely a lot of things to consider when you're playing. If you're an old EverQuest player, is the game worth playing? Is it fun? Should you re-up for 15 bucks and try it out? I think you should. I think EverQuest is still challenging, and I really remember a time where games were like this, and it just brings me back to that time where games were actually really challenging. Things were difficult. It wasn't easy to figure things out, and there's just these kind of small, simple challenges you have to deal with that really define the play experience. Like something as simple as, I need to get to my group across the world, and I need to figure out how to travel there. And, that's something that in another game you just fly there or you teleport or something. But in this game, you got to really figure out how to do it, or you have to engage other players. And EverQuest is really a game that's best played when it's with its community, when you're really with people. And I think that's really the number one thing that brought me back to Ragefire and brought me back to EverQuest is the group play. It's just the community. It's that no one wants to play a game on an empty server, especially an MMO, but EverQuest in particular, because the game is so difficult, it really requires you to figure out with your group how to play, and you need to get a lot of people together to accomplish objectives, and that's something that Ragefire is doing very well. I've found that the community is really nice. There's a couple bad apples, but it's nothing like the modern games, and all the stuff you have to deal with. I'm sure, you know, on those games, you know what I'm talking about. Just general trolls and things like that don't exist. I think that's also because Ragefire is behind a paywall, so the free-to-play attitude is not there, and that's always good. So, as far as, you know, being a returning player, you'll revisit a lot of the old EverQuest zones that you were used to, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. And if you're a new player, if is this game really worth trying? That's a question I've gotten a lot on my live streams of this game. I think it's kind of a toss-up in the air. If you want to see a little bit of what real MMOs were like in the past, then this might be worth a month or two of trying it out. But it may not be it may not be what you're used to. It may not be what you're used to with World of Warcraft or any of the new MMOs and stuff. Like, you're gonna find that a lot of the things that you take for granted with new MMOs that just are sort of done to you or done for you as a result of convenience are things that are not present in EverQuest. Now that delights me. I like that aspect of gaming. I want the most challenging experience possible. You know, I throw it at me. You know, I still wish we had corpse recovery and, you know, full EXP loss and hell levels and everything in this version of EverQuest. But Daybreak Games has said that it's very difficult to code that sort of thing because they've already updated the source code and that stuff just doesn't exist anymore. They'd have to recode all of it. Man, I think that it might be worth recoding all of it, to be honest with you, and just do a true classic server similar to Project 99, but actually sponsored by Daybreak Games. I'm sure that would get a lot of traction. But anyway, part of the challenge in EQ, like I said before, is overcoming these kind of small obstacles and, you know, just trying to find solutions to issues that aren't problems in other games. Sometimes it's as simple as a problem that's just not in the game because maybe the developers left it out or something, or, you know, like a debuff that lasts 20 minutes or something from a single mob, or, you know, some stuff is ruthless. Like, some monsters will just chain root you and you won't be able to move unless you have a solution for it. And there's no real way around that. You just are screwed if you get caught by that. And so solving those problems is really fun. And taking a little bit of a loss for death is good too. So as a new player, you might be interested in giving this a shot. If you like challenging games, if you kind of feel like you missed out on the old school MMOs, like maybe you were a couple years ahead and like you hadn't gotten the chance to play video games yet, definitely give this a shot. But, you know, if you're the type of person that you're looking for like a new MMO experience and you're looking for all the things that come along with that, then maybe skip this one. This is not going to provide a lot of new features or anything that you would see in an upcoming game. Maybe look at the time of this video, there's a couple of new games coming out on Steam, survival-oriented games that you might want to look at instead. But for this Ragefire server, I am having a hell of a lot of fun. It is really a pretty amazing experience. And if you're considering coming back as a progression server, to the progression server as an old EQ member, I couldn't recommend it enough. You'll have a lot of fun. So just wanted to give a review on Ragefire and kind of give my thoughts on it. And I don't know, maybe this video will attract a few new people to it or something. If you guys have any comments below, make sure to leave them. Let me know what your experience on Ragefire has been. Let me know what you think of the system and what's going on. Always love to hear your comments, and I'll definitely respond to a few. So thanks, guys. This has been Mylixia, and hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was useful to you. If you like videos like this, let me know too, because I'll make more of them. All right. Thanks, and I'll see you again next time.